Mic audio running. All right, it says audio's running. Are we live this time? I see a couple of people saying hello in the chat. So everything should be running smooth if everyone wants to make sure that we're tested correctly. Angel, Nicholas. I had a 10-minute countdown timer, and then all of a sudden it went, something happened and the stream crashed before I even started the stream. So it went down to 3 minutes real quick. So what's up, Angel? All right, so we do have a couple of people here. All right, sweet. So glad we got that all figured out. So I guess we can wait and just have a discussion while we have other people coming in. But thank you guys all so much for watching, as always. Tuesday's stream is basically... Okay, sweet, you guys can hear me. So Tuesday's video, Thursday videos, for those that don't know, Q&A live stream. If you basically have any questions about last video or just have any questions about the Pokemon market in general, then feel free to ask your questions away here. That is what today's whole segment for is. Also as well, at the end of the video, we usually do a poll in regards to what we're going to be breaking, not this upcoming week, but the following week for our weekly breaks. So we have Ancient Origins this upcoming Sunday. So for those people that are interested in that, we have them on the site. As I mentioned many times before, I buy them and sell them for what I'm buying them for, so I'm actually losing money on it. Before I was buying it for less than, or I was selling it for less than what I was buying it for. But a lot of the times, how do I want to say this? People would only buy 1 or 2 packs and do the discounted shipping. And I didn't want to ship it out in the discounted shipping rate. So I just gave them the full one. I probably shouldn't say that because now people are just going to totally go with the cheap one. But I basically am now losing money off of shipping instead. But either way, it's just my way of making it as cheap as possible for you guys. But should I buy Vmax Climax for 120? Well, I don't know. I don't know. That's funny. That's what your name is. It really comes down to what's your intention behind the purpose. Are you wanting to buy it from an investment perspective? Are you wanting to buy it from the aspect of, hey, I think that this is a really cool set. I mean, we can go and take a look on this screen. Obviously, you saw a black background. Oh, actually, just kidding. That is because we don't have the second monitor showing. No wonder we have got a black background. Why isn't my second monitor visible? Oh, it's because I have the capture card in front. That's why. All right, there we go. But anyway, so if we go and take a look at, say, Vmax, let's go with eBay first. So we just go to eBay, right? And then we take a look at Vmax Climax. And then we go Vmax Climax box. And we can just see how much they're selling for. So if you're talking about the high class packs and you're saying you want to buy them for 120, I don't know which ones you're referencing, but I'm seeing them sell for way less right now. So I would beg to differ. I could be looking at a different box. If you have one in particular you want me to look at, we can totally do that. So, but what's up, Codex? What's up, Michael? Talk about your thoughts on the Precious Collection box. On the Precious Collection box? Is that what Michael is saying for Vmax Climax? I'm not seeing what is the Precious Collection box, if you don't mind me saying. Is it not from Vmax Climax? But what's up, Skippy? Just noticed that Celebration ETBs are already selling for 74. Pretty impressive. Many people claim printed to the ground will never go up. I mean, that's just how it always goes. As you're probably aware, people just always want to say printed in the ground never go up, and then we always see history repeat itself because people will always find ways to make excuses for their lack of hindsight. I mean, not to be mean to the general public, but a lot of the times the people like to be very emotional, and with their emotions they will try and not take responsibility for their mistakes and learn. And so because of that, you will tend to see a lot of people rationalize their mistakes by putting the blame on others. What do you think of special delivery BDoof as a long-term 5-year hold? I think it could be good. I agree with Raheem on that one. Because with a lot of like specialty promos, they're very limited, especially when you're talking about like the special delivery Pikachu. Obviously, it had a period where it was overinflated for a while, where it was selling for like roughly $300. We can see how much it's going for now. I'm curious to see. I remember when I got that one in the mail. So the special delivery Pikachu's at $120. I mean, it's pretty expensive, but that's about right for what it's going for. So if we say special delivery Bidoof, and let's see what the market is showing on that. I mean, it has a Charizard. It makes sense. So it looks like it found a bottom at 161, and then it's kind of climbed back. I mean, I think it'll do well long term because it is such a specialty item in regards to promos. It's just so expensive. It's hard. I mean, but it's a Charizard, and it's got this and there's such a low amount of them. I mean, it'll do well. It'll do well. Don't get me wrong. It's just freaking expensive. So your entry point is going to be extremely high. Versus if you take a look at, let's say, the special delivery Pikachu, this has been in a downtrend for a while, and this item is basically the equivalent to it, except it's a Pikachu instead of a Charizard. So I would say that if it were me, I would choose this one between the two of them. Because if you actually look at the high, this sold at one point for $300. So you're able to get this one at a massive discount while it's still on the decline. But I'm not going to fault you for getting the other one because it does have the Charizard and it's not a bad pickup by any means. Just, you know, a little bit on the spendier side. No, it's the new box, Codex says. Oh, are you talking about? Oh, the new box. Here, I know which one you're talking about. Polka Beach just talked about this. The Precious Collection box. Oh my goodness gracious. I can't believe that's what you were referencing. Yes, no, this box looks absolutely so cool. So for those people that don't know, there's this Precious Collection box that came out in Japan. And look at this box. Absolutely gorgeous. I mean, and look at the promo that it comes with too. It has a card frame and everything. No, this is gorgeous. And so it's going to be about $135 is what it's going to retail for the Pokemon Center website. I don't know how you would be able to have that shipped to the States. I mean, you're probably going to be paying upwards of $250 to $300 if I were to guess on this. But I think this is gorgeous. I love a lot of these promos and premiums. Like I think the Chinese box is really cool. I think the stamp collection box is really cool. I think a box like this is really cool. I think they do a really good job with promos in Japan. I really wish America kind of did that, or the States. It's definitely upsetting, but I think this is great, and I think this is really cool, and I think it'll do well. I don't know. I live in Denmark. They're much more expensive here, and I don't think I can ship from US. Yeah, you can. You should be able to ship. If you go on eBay and you try and purchase, they will ship to you. You'll just have to pay a really high expense, right? So a lot of them are selling for around $56 to $63 is what it's looking for, unless I'm reading it wrong. But I mean, you're saying to yourself, if you're able to buy for $56, $63, you're probably paying around $30, $40 shipping. So it is going to be more around $100 instead of $120. So you could probably get it for that much. That new summer product coming out with the Pikachu. Yeah. Everyone's telling me it. Yeah. No, I'm sorry. When you said Precious, it kind of threw me off. What do you think of picking up Morpeko V-Union case for $85? Junk product, but still price. I mean, if you're talking about getting a Morpeko V case, let's see. What does a case have? 6. So we got 85 divided by 6. You're buying it for $14 a piece. That's less than MSR, or that's less than wholesale. I mean, it's not bad. I mean, a lot of the junk things you can definitely. I mean, if we just take a look and see what's in the Morpeko V-Union pack-wise, that's another thing that I like to take into consideration if I am going to buy junk. There is a point to where I won't want to buy it. I mean, from a like, oh my goodness gracious, I'm buying it at a steal of a price. You are getting a really good deal when you take a look at it because of how cheap you're getting it for. The question is, are you looking at it as something with a long-term investment? Because if you are, then more than likely you have to consider the packs inside of it. I can see there's Brilliant Star. I can't remember what else is inside of it. Maybe someone in the description will say. So, but it's a good deal because it's cheap. But one thing that I've learned a lot of the times from buying from distributors, even at those good deals, a lot of the times people won't want to buy them. Yeah, so it comes with 4 booster packs. It looks like it's 1 Fusion, 2 Brilliant, and I can't find the other one. So if you like want to break down the value and say how much is the Morpeko V-Union cards and how much is the individual, I mean, if you were to break it down, that's the real question. So if we just go Morpeko, right? Let's just say Morpeko. And we're going to go with however much the V-Union is. So the V-Union box right now, oh, I see what you're saying. This is how much they're going for. Wow, you could actually get them probably for cheaper right now on TCG Player. That's incredibly cheap. I mean, the value of the Morpeko, it's not a bad pickup by any means, but it's not my favorite. There's been a lot of times I've had opportunity to pick up like Chilling Reign, specialty like Calyrex boxes, or back in the day, Ponyta V, Battle Styles boxes for like cheaper than cheap. And then I try selling them for slightly above cheaper than cheap from what my distributor was selling them to me for, and they wouldn't sell forever. I just recently started selling them because I was doing bundles. And so for me, it's one of these things where it's really hard to justify it as like a business, but from a long-term perspective, I could see it doing well because it is going to hold a premium because it is a specialty collection box. Morpeko's not a super high-demand Pokemon, so that takes value out of it. It's got Brilliant Star packs. Brilliant Star is probably going to do well long-term, so it's not a bad pickup. You're just going to probably have to hold this for a long time before you really start to see a return on value. That's what I would say. What's up, Tyrone? How we doing, brother? Bidoof is way more rare because you had to be on the email list to get the chance to receive one. But that's the thing, Raheem, is do we know that to be true? Because, so you had to be on the email list to receive one, right? But do we have an exact population on how many people were on the email list and how many people were sent out? To be fair, that could be completely true. And if it is, there is an argument to why the price of it is going up a lot more than, let's say, the Pikachu delivery collection. And if that, then obviously that'll give more strength to it. I guess I just have to still wonder what the actual population difference would be between the Pikachu delivery and versus the hyperlink on the email. I don't know if you already talked about it, but did you see people finding Astral Packs in Texas? What do you mean finding Astral Packs? Like in stores? Love the Pikachu promo from the collection box. No, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. I agree. Do you know the full art set yet? Have not been revealed? Nope, hasn't been revealed. And you know what pisses me off the most about this? This has been absolutely busting my balls recently, is the fact that we already have Dark Phantasma is already releasing a lot of their cards. They're already releasing a lot of their character rares. And we don't even know what all the other character rares are going to be for Astral Radiance. So once again, the Pokemon Company America is still dropping the ball. And as you can see, if we look at Justin Basil's, he said, below our images we've seen so far, more likely, that are likely to become part of the set. It says we have some translations for Japan. And then if you scroll all the way down here, it goes down to the character rare. So that's what we know so far. And then the description mentions it contains a subset of 30. Not all the remaining special cards from Vmax Climax will be shown, and we don't know which ones are going to be in them yet. So we still have yet to see the majority of them because we've only had, I think, 21 revealed. So we're waiting on 9. So it's frustrating. Like, you can pick your poison on which one we can guess off this list is going to be thrown in. Because here's what we have so far, and then if you go all the way down, here's the specialty list that they have. There should be more to it. I don't know why it's not being shown, because there's a Garchomp and Cynthia that's going to be absolutely gorgeous that they're including. But yeah, it's frustrating. It's frustrating to say the least with the set literally 2 weeks away, and we don't even know what's going to be in it. I'm really hoping that someone like Leonhardt or like one of these other big tubers that does have early access to the product will open some of them, and we'll be able to see, but only time will tell at this point. Stamp box is amazing, 100% agree. What do you think of the Pokemon Japanese special Nessa box, for example, in the US? I mean, let's take a look at the Nessa box. I know exactly which one you're talking about. I mean, obviously, oh my goodness gracious. See, here's the hard thing, guys. When it comes to asking all these questions about these premium boxes. And this is a really hard question for me to ask. Or for you guys to ask me. Because the thing about the US and the way in which they print things they print things very much so to demand. Japan, on the other hand, is very much like we print, we move on. We print, we move on. And there's a reason why they do that as well compared to the United States, because the United States is pumping out sets every 3 to 4 months typically. You know, sometimes as early as 2, sometimes as early as 1 if you're talking specialty collections. Japan, on the other hand, one set to the next, to the next, to the next. And instead of doing one big set like America does, they do 2 smaller sets. And so they don't have time to go back. Now, of course, you know, America also as well has a lot bigger printing capacity because Japan is a super small country when you really look at it, not only from a landmass, but also from just a population of Japan. I mean, let's take a look at the overall population of Japan. So population of Japan is currently sitting at 125 million. So it's not like a tiny country by any means. Like, it's small, but the United States is pushing 400. So it's like, if we go just United States population, we're sitting at 329. So we almost triple their population. So we're not pushing 400, we're just slightly above 3. So it's like what you can do in the United States compared to Japan in regards to how big their country is, both as landmass and population, factoring that in, but also factoring in on top of that, the way in which the overall print quality is so much better with Japan than English, the way in which they print things with their print schedule differently, the way in which they send out promos more than the United States does. So when it comes to Japan, they just take things from a different direction than the way in which the States do. And so for that reason, this is getting to the main point, when you guys ask me about these Nessa boxes and all these promos, it's not that I don't dislike the promos. There are certain ones that I'm huge fans of. Like I said, the promo stamp, I think that the golden box from China, I think is good. I do think this new one, depending upon what the price of it is going to be good. I guess my biggest thing is it's really hard for me to fully get on board with a lot of these boxes like the Nessa one. And it's not going to be like, I'm not saying it's a bad pickup by any means, because this is a specialty item. This is a limited item. It's probably going for what it's worth market wise, but it's just really hard because there's such a like easy way to tell the value of American cards versus Japanese cards. Since everything is overseas, there's such a like finite kind of sense of actual supply versus demand compared to the United States. So that's why it's really tough, because you have like such a small like pocket window from an investment perspective to get in before the prices absolutely start to skyrocket. So that's just kind of how I look at it. I think you have those windows. Sometimes, of course, you'll have sets that are going to have items that will eventually go down because there was extreme amount of hype. But I remember back in the day, I was able to buy like booster boxes for regular sets for around $40, $45, which is around MSRP. I think as low as 36. And now most of them on like Nin and other sites, they're just pre-selling them for like double. And so it's really frustrating because people don't understand the full gauge of the Japanese value of the market. So like in America, you might say, wow, $425, $399 for this item is not that much. But then when you realize how much it was originally going for, it's extremely expensive. But of course, once again, when there's supply and then you counter it out with demand, then it makes sense. I mean, there's a huge demand for this box. So at the end of the day, to answer your question, a very long question that I am answering, do I think from an investment perspective, it's something I would look into? From an investment? No. From a collectability, yeah, because it's super scarce. It'll probably do well long term. But for $400, I mean, what's the movability on this, or what's the scalability? It's really hard to say because Japan, it's just, I don't know. It's just hard for me to say. I could be wrong. You could have a different opinion. Maybe I don't know as much as I'm talking about. Of course, I'm not an expert on all these things, but I would say based on my knowledge that I do have about Japanese product and how they like to do things, it's definitely something that makes it hard for me as it's already at this certain price point. So, but that's just my opinion. So it's not, I'm not going to fault you for it if you get it. So, but it's not my preference. I want to invest my money into Pokemon and hold for 5 years. Right now, I plan on getting Evolving Skies, ETBs, Billion Star, ETB Celebrations, ETBs, and normal ETs. But what do you think? I mean, I've talked about it before. I don't know. ETBs are one of my biggest. I mean, from an an economical perspective, when comparing ETBs to booster boxes, ETBs have outperformed. So I think that you're on the right track. You're looking at sets that are, you know, going to be high demand sets. So I think your strategy is great. The only thing I would say consider, and this is something that I have never had to consider, but I've heard a lot of people like critique me on this. And so I want to point it out, is understand your storage space, because for a lot of people like myself, I'm able to store a lot of ETBs, but a lot of people don't have that same storage capacity. So like, let's say a booster box reprint happens for Evolving Skies. If you're able to pick up those booster boxes and it's going to be easier for you to store a case of booster boxes than ETBs, then it's definitely worth doing that. So so just something to consider. But if you have the storage, I think that's great, because you're gonna more than likely get a greater return. B says, I commented on your video recent, bro, check it out. Which video, B? Like I said, I don't really go through all the comments as much anymore. I'm so busy all the time. What to invest in if I was plan on waiting 5 years? I mean, I think you're sitting pretty with what you have said. I think it's 2 billion star, 1 fusion, and maybe 1 chilling rain. Yeah, I mean, like I said, man, that's going to be hard. I mean, you're going to have to think about it from that perspective of people only care about the packs long term. It'll have sealed like collection value, but the promo's not super strong, so you're probably going to be sitting on it for a while before you get a turn on it. I think it's not smart to think 5 years. It's too long of a time frame. A lot of stuff can happen. I suggest thinking 3 years max down the line. I mean, say that to economists, though. That's the thing, is economists think of things in 1 year terms, 3 year terms, 5 year terms, 10 year terms. Like there's no, like, it's not like specifically I myself or other people, and I could be wrong. I'm not trying to speak for people, but for people like myself, I'm thinking on more than just 5 years. I'm thinking what's going to happen this next week, what's going to happen this next month, what's going to happen the next 6 months and a year. So it's like I'm constantly scaling out, and I'm not like set only on 5 years. I don't look at everything else, because then if you're missing the bigger picture, or you're missing the smaller picture if you think only finite off one time frame. So I think there's an argument to be made that you just have to be able to look at it from all perspectives. So it's kind of like that mindset of like, I live in the moment, or I don't live in the moment. I really hate that, because you hear a lot of people saying, oh bro, you're only thinking for the future, you're not living in the moment. And then you think of people, oh bro, you're only living the moment, you're not thinking for your future. It's like, why can't you do both? Why can't you live in the moment and be able to, like, you know, treasure it, but also be aware and have a sense of understanding for what the future could hold? So, but I don't know, that's just my 2 cents. How high of a price for UPCs would you still call worth the investment? Personally, John Doe, I think that unless you're able to get it for less than 300, this is my personal opinion. Not financial advisor. Unless you're able to get it for around 300, I'm staying away. Once you start pushing 400 for an ultra premium collection, I think it's not worth it. And the reason why is because MSRP is 120. If you're telling me that already out the gate it's triple MSRP, I'm just telling you guys right now, it's not going to be able to move that much. Like, just the overall, I mean, I could be wrong, of course, like I said before, but the fact of the matter that it's triple MSRP out the gate, like, this is insane. It's selling for $395. Like, that's just ridiculous. And don't get me wrong, it's cool. It's a specialty item. But when you're telling me that I could take $400 and go put it towards something else, let's say like, you know, Celebrations Elite Trainer boxes, or Shining Fates Elite Trainer boxes, or even Hidden Fates Elite Trainer boxes, or just something that I know is going to more than likely have a greater like return from a percentage perspective over an actual dollar value perspective, then it just seems like it's way more worth it to put it somewhere else, in my opinion. It's a great item. It'll probably do like well over time, but the scalability of an item like this, as it's already starting at triple above MSRP, it's just hard for me to justify it. Are you holding or selling Evolving Skies right now with the possible reprint looming? I would say that I've sold most of my Evolving Skies right around wave 2 when it was selling for almost $200. And then after that, I was basically just buying it and just selling it because I'm a business and I only have so much I was able to hold on to. But I've sold most of mine a while back. I think the last time I sold it was at around 150. But I didn't have like a crazy amount to sell at 150. So if it were me personally, I mean, you're talking about the fact that it looks like we've had a cap out. I could be wrong, because you always got to take prices with a grain of salt. But something's going on where the price was about to break the all-time high. Because for those people who don't remember, I've been talking about this for a while. 189 was the high, and then 186 was the reattempt at the next high, which is so uncanny because when you look at this from a market charting perspective, it's kind of funny because this looks like a double top, like from a chart. And so it's kind of weird to see it like that. Obviously, it could go at another run at it. But the fact that the price has started to go down just shows a general census of demand going down, not necessarily that the overall, I mean, of course, supply is going down too because more of it's being opened, but you have to also take other economic factors into consideration. I mean, we just saw the NASDAQ just drop for 4 percentage points, right? And I haven't looked at what it's at right now. Wouldn't be surprised if it rebounded a little bit. You saw crypto. I mean, it's dropped $10,000 in the past week and a half, 2 weeks. I think it rebounded after breaking slowly below 30K, and now it's sitting at 31. So and we've talked about this too on in-depth videos where I say the biggest thing that Pokemon is correlated to is crypto, and crypto is correlated to the stock market. So everything kind of works within each other. So that's why I try not to compare investing in stocks compared to investing in Pokemon. Because although you can say percentage gains, like you've had a greater return on Pokemon if you were to average it out, let's say, than investing in something like Apple, the overall risk that you're going to be taking investing in a general stock versus in a general Pokemon product is a lot riskier. However, also at the same exact time, if you were to go back in time and say you tried investing in Apple when it first came out as a company, there's no guarantee saying that it also wasn't going to be risky because it's a startup company. That's why I like to scale it more when you're talking about risk for investing in Pokemon, more along the lines of cryptos, because it has an extreme amount of volatility. Obviously, it's from different factors such as reprints, but I digress. The point I'm making with this is I definitely think there's an argument to be made. As I've said many times before, I made a prediction saying we're going to either more than likely have a reprint in May, or we're going to hear news of a reprint in May for Evolving Skies. I could be 100% wrong on this. This is all just, a shot in the dark, but based off of just patterns of what we've seen from the Pokemon company, it just seems very likely, and the charts are showing that the demand has gone down because of everything going on in the markets. So just less money going around for people to have, but that's what I'm saying. Especially if you don't really care about it and have no passion for it, it's really hard to hold. Yeah, no, I get that, but that's just a completely different argument about why you're in the hobby to begin with. I'm hoping Astral is a dud set, so the next one can be Lord Narwhal. You're I hope it sucks so that I don't have to buy it, because if it's good, I'm gonna buy it. I get that mentality. I'm gonna be sad if it's Red's Pikachu. Oh, dude, could you imagine? Oh, that would change everything. Yeah, people claim to buy blisters in the store for Astral. See, that's hard, man, because we've seen a lot of fake videos of that come out. I remember for a while, I reported on this. We had heard rumors, and some people were seeing actual stock images of elite trainer boxes for evolutions popping up on the shelves. And maybe it was a specific area, so it's entirely possible that it could have been an error and something like that would have happened in a local Walmart or Target or whatever it was. But nationwide, I highly doubt that's going to happen because that's such a one-off, but I could be wrong. Pull rates on certain Japanese cards are on Japanese battle region are very difficult. Really, that's interesting. How difficult, comparing it to Japanese? Because Japanese usually has a really good pull rate. Let's go up to Astral Radiance bundles, booster box and ETP per bundle for $145 shipped. Hey, that's not a bad deal by any means. Yo, what's up, Derek? How we doing, brother? At work, multitasking? Hey, shout out to you. Oh, one thing I wanted to mention. So for those that don't already follow me, I just recently started making posts on Instagram starting today. I made my first post in over 6 months. Derek was one of the first people that commented on it. So I saw that and I was like, yo, got to give Derek a shout out. But also go check it out. It's just Pokemart USA. So same logo and everything, you'll see it. So, but I'm going to start making posts of showing off my collection. So first one is going to be my altar to the EVs. So, because I'm a huge Majestic Dawn fan for those people that don't already know. I'll actually show it just to kind of flex on you guys. Just because I'm a huge fan of Leafeon and Glaceon. So, I think the cards are absolutely awesome. So, but here, let me go to my profile quickly, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like, and then I'll move on to reading the next question. But all right, yeah, so here's my first post. Like I said, it's been a while, so shout out to Derek. But yeah, so this is my Majestic Dawn booster box, and then I hope to get these graded in the near future. These go for quite a bit in 10s. This one, I had one guy, he said if it gets a 10, he'll offer me 3K, and then this one for 1K. So I will 100% hold on to it though, but But yeah, no, Pokemon _ USA, check it out. And then there's my prize position Majestic Dawn booster box. So I want to pick up more in the future, but I only can afford one for now because it's like 8 or 9K because mine is a case fresh one. Digismith, I think they are trying with Magic does have a content creator spoil the set on the 13th. All the YouTuber creators releasing the videos on them. That was a really confusing statement. I'm gonna try and translate what you're saying. I think what you're trying to say, I could be wrong, and if you want to retype that, that'd be great so I can get an understanding. But I think what you were trying to say was content creators have been like leaking stuff. Is that what you mean? Because of like what happened with Brilliant Star? Are they trying to have more quality control for leaks? I could be wrong. I assume that's kind of what you mean by that. Because of obviously what we saw with the Charizard leak for Brilliant. Please correct me on that. I do apologize. It was kind of hard to understand what you meant by your message. Thoughts on the bloodbath yesterday in the crypto market? I think that we are more than likely heading towards a recession in the economy. Obviously, I've been talking about this for... God, I've been talking about this since at least June or July of last year. I mean, that's what kind of got my channel to pop off. As I said, the market crash is coming. I mean, and it doesn't take an expert to know that. I mean, a recessionary period is right around the corner with the rate of inflation that we were going at. You can't just spend money and expect it to, or print money into the ground and expect it to not be worth less, like what just basic economic supply and demand theory. So when you're talking about what's going on with crypto, I mean, like I said, crypto is following a lot of what the stock market's doing. And crypto trades on weekends where the stock market, it doesn't. So basically what happened was people, there's always a lot of always a lot of tomfoolery that happens on weekends when it regards to trading crypto. And so you saw a huge crash, and that was more than likely going to correlate with a huge crash for the stock market on Monday. You saw a huge crash on the stock market on Monday happen, and then you saw once again, of course, people panic selling their crypto on top of that as well. And so, yeah, you're just seeing stagflation in a market. You're seeing more than likely going to be a second quarter of negative GDP growth, which is going to then be classified as a recession. And then you're more than likely on top of that as well going to see the price of Bitcoin go down. My long-term target is 24,000. I don't think it'll go below 20,000 historically speaking. If you are a fan of crypto, you never want it to go below its prior all-time high, or else that's actually not a good thing for the market from a long-term perspective. There is a certain point on a daily moving average you want to have a sign of relative strength over a long-term period. So obviously the last market cycle, the high was 20K, the low was 3K, and the prior market cycle, the high was 3K, which was what the actual high was in the prior market cycle. So it's still holding the fundamentals of an uptrend long term. So you're hoping that crypto doesn't go below 20K, but I'm shooting for more 24. But first and foremost, it has to break 30K, which is a huge area of psychological support, and it's more than likely gonna probably make some lower highs before it really does break 30K, in my opinion. Thank you for a ton of help. Yeah, I appreciate you. It's gonna go down to the low 20s for sure. If it gets down to 20, who knows? Terra Luna down 52% of the day. I noticed that, dude. That's crazy. Yeah, Cardano passed Luna. Which, I mean, Cardano has always been all over the place. I love Charles Hoskins. I think that he's great. I think the Shelley project is awesome. I was one of the early adopters of Cardano when it first came out. It was one of my favorite crypto projects. So I'm a huge fan of it. I like Matic and what they're doing with NFTs. Obviously, they absolutely are doing pretty good on the rebound today, but they were getting slaughtered. But yeah, Luna's getting absolutely shellacked. Like, shellacked. It is bad, bro. It's bad. My prediction is 12K Bitcoin in the future. If 20K, I think that if it gets down, I don't think it'll get down to 12K. I don't think it can, because like I said, from a fundamentals perspective, that is extremely, extremely bad if it breaks below 20K, like extremely bad. So, I mean, to be fair, we've never seen, this will be the first time we've seen crypto in a recessionary period. Literally, crypto was designed after we got into the Great Recession. So only, time will tell. But just from a fundamental charting perspective, it would be extremely bad if it broke below 20K and closed on a daily, a monthly, a weekly. Like, from a long-term perspective, at that point, you start to lose a lot of fundamental faith in Bitcoin. So that's why I'm hoping it goes to 20K as its bottom, which, to be fair, guys, if you look at a lot of the cryptos, when Bitcoin went down to 3K on its prior retracement, you're talking about the fact of the matter that like Bitcoin in and of itself went down to 3K, which was its prior all-time high, and you still had things like Cardano go from $1.20 to 3 cents. So if you're saying, oh, well, I want Bitcoin to be cheaper, guys, you can just go in the altcoins, and the altcoins are going to retrace. The altcoins have no consistency. They are going to retrace way harder than Bitcoin is. When you're telling me that Cardano had a low of 1.8 cents or 2 cents, and you're saying its high was literally 100x that, you can easily 100x some of these other cryptos. So like for me personally, I would probably say that Cardano's next low is more than likely going to be around the 10 cents mark to 20 cents. I mean, it's possible it could be higher, it's possible it could be lower, but there's literally no telling where these altcoins are. And so from a long-term investment perspective, that's where you're going to make your most money. If you're saying Cardano had an all-time high of like $3 and like 30 cents or $3.20, if you get in at 30 cents, right? Like if you get in at 30 cents or if you get into like 10 cents, let's say you get in at 10 cents, that's still 30x. Like that's still insane. And that's if it hits its all-time high. Obviously, we're not saying we're going to get these like insane gains like we were before, like 100x, but you're still talking about a 30x return. So that's just what I'm saying. So I think that's still good in crypto. So, but as it gets bigger and bigger and you start to see more money flood into the market, then the volatility in the time it's going to take for movements to happen, it's going to go down naturally. Of course, volatility is still high because when you compare like the market cap of gold compared to crypto is still a baby. It's like 1/10 of that. So, you know, it still has a lot of fundamentals that it needs to work on. But I mean, we're talking about a lot of really low prices on these cryptos that I'll be excited for. And to be fair, like the highs are going to be higher than $3. Like Cardano's, we're talking $5, $6, $10 in the future. So if you're saying you got in at 10 cents and then long term in the next bull market cycle, it goes to $10, then I wouldn't be upset if it hit that low and you're talking about still 100xing. It's just going to take longer than before. I think ETH will hold the line at 1K. I agree, Purple. I think ETH will probably go down to, once again, its prior all-time high. It'll probably test that, and then it'll probably wick below and hit 1K. That'll probably be a huge psychological area. It could break below, possibly, because ETH, like I said, alts, literally, you don't know anything. The only thing you know about alts is that you know nothing about alts, because prior market cycle, ETH went as low as $80. That is insanely low. $80 freaking dollars, guys. That's incredible. Like, alts are literally anything can happen. Litecoin, $20. Litecoin's obviously not as prevalent as it is before when you had Satoshi Light working on it. And obviously there's a whole drama that happened if you were back in the market in 2017 where he sold all of his Litecoin bags. But yeah, no, I mean, these alts are going to be my favorite to enter in, especially if you really know the market and you understand the projects. Tether bubble will burst. I mean, it's a, you know, we need it though. We need the scam. Do you think we'll ever see Pokemon movie promos to come out in the US and anime movies on the rise? I mean, to be fair, Andrew, although it's a Japanese promo, the Arceus V box is it's a video game promo. It's just originally it was a Japanese promo and then they made it into an English one. So I would love to see if they did that. It's hard to say. So if you're talking, I think they're going to go more to the direction of like the video games. I could be wrong though. They could go to the direction of movies. I think that'd be really cool to see, but who knows? The recent video, LOL, good to know you don't read the comments in your videos. Well, that's the whole purpose of this, Purple, is the reason why I title the Q&A for this one, the literal title of my last video, is because I don't have time to go through and read because I'm so busy because I'm literally running everything myself. Like, it is extremely difficult to be able to like do everything by yourself and then also try and spend the time to go through, read, and comment on each person's question versus from like a text format versus like being able to talk about it with you guys for 2 hours and go through and say what I have as my personal opinions because I can respond a lot faster. So I do apologize. Obviously, I wish I could do that, but I just don't have the time. I'm so busy. I have so many things I'm working on. MicroStrategy is in a lot of trouble right now. There's a cost based on Bitcoin is around 30K and they're loaded up with a lot of debt to buy. They forced to sell. It could definitely hit 20 for sure. you could make an argument, and here's what I'm going to say. You can make an argument it could break below 20K. Let's say it goes to 17K, and then on a quick weekly, it could go back up. So it could break below 20K. Like, don't get me wrong, it's not the end of the world. It's the closes that are going to kill us. If they close below like on a weekly or like a monthly, that's going to scare me the most. And if there is someone that you guys are interested in learning in regards to crypto trading and just understanding the crypto market, if you don't already follow him, Crown's Crypto Cave, I highly recommend him. Guy's super knowledgeable. I learned a lot from him, and I've learned a lot from other individuals as well in regards to general trading, whether it be stocks or cryptos. But I recommend him if that's something you really want to be able to understand markets and future predictions, because this actually will help you not only for crypto, but stocks as well as Pokemon. This is Pokemon, not stocks. I mean, it's all 1-in-1, man. Hello, I got a PSA 9 Scyther from Red Green set. Good move. PSA 9 from Red and Green. Are you talking about Fire Red, Leaf Green? Please explain, Agent. Which one are you referencing? Yeah, a hollow and how much? Yeah, that's a great question. So many questions. Hollow, how much? Fire Red, Leaf Green. Which one are you talking about? MG, just join. You guys talk about the new Precious Collector box. Yes, we did, MG, and if you can get it for, I think it'll be a great collection box. Obviously, if you can get it in before it really starts to skyrocket in price, then I think it'll do really well long term. But I think it's a cool box for sure. Really, you would buy 2 Hidden Fates ETBs versus 1 UPC? That's a great question, Purple. Obviously, that's one of the ones that I had mentioned. I would say if I could buy, because if you're talking about the value of the UPC right now versus the Hidden Fates ETBs, with the same value, I could go buy 2 Hidden Fates ETBs and then 2 Charizard tins. And I would do that over the UPC for sure. That's just personally me, because it's a lot easier to break off and sell each card individually, because there's going to be demand for the tins and the ultra premium, and the like ETBs more than there is going to be trying to sell one big unit, if that makes sense. It'll be easier to sell items that are going to be high demand and at a lower price. That's personally my opinion, though, of course. Get the cheap ETBs, Vivid Fusion, Darkness, you'll have better ROI. I mean, sad, I couldn't have said it better. That's exactly what I'm talking about, man. What is the best investment in item for Brilliant Star Evolving Skies? Easy. I don't know. Best investment for Brilliant Star is going to be the Arceus V figure box. I have not shut up about this. I will not shut up about this. I think this is going to be, my personal opinion, the best investment pickup of the year. Like, I think this is going to be under best selling. Don't know why I said high to low. I think this item, you can't trump this item. Like, you just cannot from what it's offering. It's got an amazing figure. It's got 2 Brilliants and a Cosmic in it. It's got a great promo. And if you look at just currently where it's sitting at right now, you could probably get it close to MSRP. I'm not kidding you guys right now. I'm going to be loading up on these. Like, loading up on these. I think they're going to do so well. Because if you honestly break down the value of what this is going for and what it could go for long term, like, I think it's ridiculous. Like, if you want to break down the value of the figure and the promo and the Cosmic, like, it's probably worth more than the actual, like, box sealed itself. But long term, it's going to be so good. It's going to be so good. My personal opinion. I just love it so much. So much, so much, so much. I can't stop talking about it. Historically, these Japanese collector boxes have performed really well. So I don't know why this... No, I 100% agree with that, Koga. Yeah, the Precious Collector's box will definitely do well. No doubt about it. The question really just becomes, Koga, how overinflated is it going to get? Because when you talk about it's done well, comparing it to MSRP, but if you look at the UPC, it's done really well compared to MSRP. But you are at never a point to be able to get it at MSRP. So that's one of the things a lot of people have to consider, is the entry point is what's most important. So, because if you're saying, wow, the MSRP was 120 and it's already at $1,000, but let's say that it started off at 500 as the market price, then realistically, the 100% return is still great, but it's already at a higher entry point than what's realistic of what it was actually going for. Long-term support at 29K-ish once it breaks as a free fall, basically, Gavin. I would say long-term support is probably more sitting at around No, that's about right. No, you're sitting. That's about right. I was gonna say like 29.5, you could say, but 29. It could honestly go to as low as 28K depending upon what we're closing on. I don't have a PC, but I'm bullish on it. No, I agree. I'm bullish on it too, but I just look at returns, and that's kind of how I like to break things down. Is it best to buy Evolving Skies booster box or Celebrations Ultra Premium Collection box from an investment standpoint? Or are there Shining Fates or Hidden Fates? So that's a hard one. I don't know, because one, Evolving Skies right now is extremely expensive. I'm saying after the reprint, in my opinion, after the reprint, Evolving Skies will be the number one, depending upon how low the price goes. If you're talking about it goes to as low as 120 or lower, Evolving Skies, it's going to do the best. Shining Fate ETBs, however, we've talked about this on this channel, specialty ETBs do really well. So Shining Fates ETBs, already being able to get them at MSRP, it's a great price. You're going to be able to get them at. It's probably going to be valued really strongly in the future because a lot of the people don't resonate with the cards, but the nostalgia for the shinies of the kids that grew up in this era in the next 5 to 10 years are probably going to mature, and it's going to cause them to want to open these Shining Fate sets. And as far as Hidden Fates goes, I mean, Hidden Fates will do well. It depends on the price point in which you're going to be able to get them at. Obviously, you didn't tell me how much you're spending because each item is worth a certain amount. So it really just depends on what you'll be able to get it at for, what's your budget. But I would say probably, I would probably invest in any of those other three before I'd pick Ultra Premium. But for me personally speaking, I'm already sitting on a lot of Shining. I'm sitting on a decent amount of Hidden, not as much because I offloaded a little bit of it. But I'm going to be loading up the most on Evolving once the reprint hits. Garchomp, Cynthia, and Starmie with the Misty on the side. Japanese insanely hard to pull. My friend does whatnot, and yes, the pull. Huh, that's interesting to know. Yo, what's up, Plebisaurus? How we doing, brother? Thanks for stopping by. I agree. I agree with you on that one. Purple. It's so cheap. It's so cheap. I mean, Purple. Yeah, you're just preaching to the choir at this point. I'm gonna keep moving on because you're right. Nothing more to comment on that. If this was already asked, I'm sorry, you're good. Chance you think they're going to reprint Evolving Skies booster boxes or ETBs for the next few months or the end of the year? Hey, Codex, so to answer your question, first and foremost, what I'm going to say with that is, number one, I made a prediction, and you guys are going to hold me to that prediction. So everyone remember this right now. I've said this before. I'll say it again. I'm making a prediction that there's either going to be a reprint or there's going to be an announcement for a reprint of Evolving Skies by May. Now, if there isn't, I will eat my words. But if there is, then you guys can hear it first from my channel. I'm going to predict this. And the reason why I'm going to predict this is for two reasons why. One, historically speaking, if we look at the pattern and the way in which the Pokemon Company has done reprints, historically you see a large amount of them happen right before Worlds. You saw this with Unbroken Bonds. You saw this with Unified Minds. You saw this with some of the other sets like Roaring Skies. You saw this with Primal Clash, and so on and so forth. Worlds is going to happen in August. I think there's an argument that from a competitive perspective, a lot of these cards are getting expensive, and so for that reason, there's more than likely going to be a reprint either announced or coming in May. Not to mention, if we're talking about from a fundamentals technical analysis perspective, like a charting perspective, we obviously saw the high, which was 189 on a weekly, and then a retest of the high at around 186. It did not break the high. I told you guys if it broke the high, then I was going to be all of a sudden mega bullish on this. Or if it closed and sat there for a while, I was going to be bullish. However, it did not break the high. And I know people are going to say, Eli, well, it did sell for more than that. Right, but I'm talking about closing. It can sell for that, but it sold for plus 200 the time prior. But on the weekly closing, it's going to say 189. It has to represent what the chart represents as breaking higher. So from a market technical analysis perspective, it's telling me that the Pokemon chart fundamentals are following a lot of what crypto and stocks do. And so for that reason, I think there's reason to believe that we can use that to make predictions on what the market psychology could potentially lead to in regards, and this might sound crazy, but just general fundamentals on prices going down, whether it be coupled with demand going down because of everything going on in just general markets. And then on top of that as well, what's going on with potential reprints. So now to answer ETBs, I think it's more than likely going to happen, but it probably won't happen for at least another year or so. It could happen sooner, but it's a while before it goes out of rotation, and they're more concerned about getting the cards, packs, and bring the cost of the cards down more than they are about the ETBs. Digi Smith, my bad. In Magic, they have content created. No, you're all good, Digi. Spoiler season, and all the major Pokemon content creators got product from Pokemon to release videos of Astral. Oh, I see what you're saying, Digismith. Oh, that totally makes sense. Yeah, that correlates to what I'm saying with Leonhardt, and how I hope that Leonhardt basically is going to have a bunch of reveals, and hopefully he'll get pulls for some of the cards we haven't seen. That's a great point, Digi. Wow, shout out to you for that one. I didn't really think about that. I think they're just trying to do the same with Magic. No, that's great, dude. I think you're right. I mean, of course, yeah, no, that's cool. No one really knows, but I feel like the reprint 100% is happening for Evolving. Yeah, no, you hear my prediction, guys. Hold me accountable. If it hits June 1st, guys, and it hasn't heard a word, you guys I can eat my shorts, and you guys can make fun of me all you want for it. What's up, Patrick? Good afternoon, Eli and friends. What are your thoughts on the Chinese 25th anniversary box? I was just talking about this not that long ago. I think it's a great design. I think it's a really cool item. And for what it is and for how much it's going for, I mean, we can take a look and see what the Chinese anniversary, 25th anniversary box, and see what it's going for. So the gold. It is going for, I mean, to me, guys, personally speaking, this is more worth it than the UPC. I might sound crazy, but I think this is more worth it than the UPC. But that's just me. Might sound crazy. Bearish on English and Japanese cards. Yeah, it's hard not to get bearish with everything that's going to happen in the near future. Yeah, or Luna got wrecked, right? The first crypto recession, what? 2020 pandemic? But that wasn't a recession though, Purple. I'm talking about a full-on recession. When I talk about a full-on recession, I'm talking about full-on market cycle of like 2008 to 2010 recovery. In regards to actual market recession, it was very short-term correction, and then it went all the way back up, and a lot of the actual like stocks broke their all-time high shortly after the correction. So I wouldn't consider that to be a true recession. I would just consider that to be an unfortunate catalyst. I would say a fortunate catalyst, honestly, because being able to, the price of Disney was sitting at 150, crashed all the way down to below 100. I pick it up for 100, sell it for 150. So I got a discount of 33%. It was a great opportunity, and it was like a 3-month turnaround time. So that's not a real recession. A real recession lasts a couple of years when you're talking about market cycles this long. If Evolving Skies booster boxes didn't get a reprint, how do you think its price would go into a recession? That's a great question. I think it would be one of the strongest performers, John. Hypothetically speaking, it would be one of the strongest performers. Let's make an argument, right? Let's say that it's out of print right now, right? I would say there's a strong argument to be made that you could see the price go up, but it's going to be a lot slower. It's going to be kind of like what happened with Hidden Fates ETBs. So let's take a look at Hidden Fates ETBs. So if you look at what they are going for right now, and these are, in my opinion, one of the most desired items. It's one of the favorite sets. Look at what it's done on the yearly since it got its reprint. It went up, it went down, it went up, it went down, it went up, and it's probably going to go down and then up again. So it's like it's slowly going up, but it's very stagnant. I would say that if we talked about a recessionary period, I could see it going stagnant and following what the Hidden Fates ETB is doing. Obviously, the Hidden Fates ETB is a little bit of a different example because it did have a reprint and then it went stagnant. This hasn't had a reprint, it hasn't gone stagnant, but I think there are two different situations where one is correlated to a reprint and the other one is correlated to market fundamentals on what is going on. So that's what I would probably say if I were to guess what could happen, but eventually it will go up. I don't think it'll hit a point in which it doesn't have some form of like slow growth and it's going to go completely stagnant. Like you'll see returns still on Pokemon. They'll just be a lot like less. You're not going to see these 20, 30, 40% returns. Like you're probably going to see like 7 to 10% returns. But that's going to be after a short correction in the market. And that's really going to come down to what this full-on recession is going to look like. Because this is going to be like a huge bubble pop. Is it going to be a slow kind of dwindling? those are going to be other factors that make it really hard to kind of predict how it's going to go. Because when we talk about like general market prices of what happened during, you know, the correction on the housing market, you saw the average household price, you know, go down anywhere between 35 to 50% from their own overall home value. The ones that, of course, you know, performed the strongest were like properties that were already in high demand, low kind of supply areas. But even those low supply areas that did have high demand still got hit pretty hard. It was just on the lower end of the retracement because general demand still went down because there's less money being spent. So as far as it goes, you more than likely see Pokemon go into a really large stagnation period. And then it'll probably, once the economy starts doing well, it'll probably do well again. But what's going to be hurt the most is definitely going to be Ultra Modern. I know that's kind of like a half answer, and it's hard. I'm giving you all the possible scenarios because I don't have a crystal ball and I can't tell you the future, but I'm giving you all the possible scenarios of what could potentially happen, and hopefully you can at least, you know, hear from that. Historical support on no historical support on Cardano until 30 cents. No, 100% sad, and that's exactly why I said 30 cents could potentially be its next bounce point, and it could bottom out there or it could go lower. No, that's 100% why I gave that point. You have to look at the distribution of top holders for the coin, best indicator for movement. I mean, yes and no. I mean, it definitely plays a variation to say that. I would definitely agree with you, Agent. But there's also a lot of market fundamentals as well on what's going on. NFTs are big on ETH network and Sol. Yeah, the problem with ETH right now is the fees for gas are so expensive, and Sol has a lot that it needs to work on. I'm a fan of Sol, but it's got a lot it needs to work on. To me, the overall market cap of crypto makes no sense. Over $1 trillion, it should be at 800 billion and 900 billion. Why doesn't it make sense? Shout out to my dog, Axel, Rocket, and Tilly. Thanks for the video. Hey, shout out to you, Rusty. There's room to grow on BSC for NFTs. Mark my word. I mean, there's always going to be room to grow in a new asset space. Or an asset class is what they say. So many scams, of course, as with everything. Kovo's not a recession. Yep, no, 100% agree with you, Sad. Koga agrees. Yo, what's up, Zach? Thanks for stopping by. Matic is slow and gets congested on high volume. Can screw your bags if you don't pump the gas to extreme levels. Yeah, I agree with that. I just like it because it's cheaper, but no, I understand what you're saying. That's what makes it hard, man, is because gas fees are so high. We'll see. I don't see the Fed allowing markets to dip for a prolonged period of time. They're not going to have a choice. Like, all they're going to do, they're not going to have a choice, Purple. That's just my opinion. But they're going to have to eat the pain. And based on what's showing up for polling in regards to what's happening in the midterms, they're gonna have to bite the bullet because they're gonna need a second half term turnaround in regards to economic growth, or else they're gonna have nothing to show for come year 4 in regards to what's happening in this economy. What do you think of the potential long-term value of code cards? Most people just throw them away. That's a good question. It's hard, man. I'm sitting on literally a pile of code cards, so I don't think there's a lot of long-term value to it. I mean, you could see that some people like to open some of the virtual packs and have it added onto their virtual collection, but I don't see a ton of long-term value. But I could be wrong as far as it goes. Who knows? What do you think of Cosmos? I looked into Cosmos for a while. Mainly because their staking is really high, if I'm correct, on Exodus. I could be wrong. Here, let's look at CoinMarketCap because it sounds like a lot of people really want me to talk about crypto. But Cosmos, if I'm correct, and I could be wrong, don't quote me on this. Here, let's look at Cosmos. Cosmos, Adam, if I'm correct, the staking on it is around 8%. On wow, how am I spacing out? On Exodus. So I could be wrong on that one, but I'm gonna pull up my Exodus wallet. I don't actually have any money in my Exodus wallet at this very moment. I transferred most of my money to exchanges, so I don't have anything to hide, but I still want to pull it up and quickly see if there are any sort of staking rewards for Cosmos. Like I said before, you guys are not going to see. Just kidding. I have money there. Oh, what? I thought I didn't have money there. No. All my assets are updating. Okay, cool. I was about to say, wait, I don't have money here. What's going on? Okay, cool. I was like, oh, it showed a lot of my money I had. Just kidding. Okay, I got moved to exchanges. So now you guys see the exited portfolio. But what was going on with Cosmos? Yeah, so Cosmos staking. If you wanted to stake Cosmos, how much is the staking on it? Is it not telling me? It used to tell you how much you could stake Cosmos at, which is one of the reasons why I liked it so much. Yeah, what's the APY on it? Yeah, what's the APY value? If someone wants to tell me, they can tell me, but I'm curious on it. Where did it go? I literally just had it. Here, Cosmos staking APY Exodus. It offers a 9.4%, 9.46 APY. So that alone is what kind of gets me with Cosmos on one of the reasons why I looked into it. If you want to understand, because I'm so behind on comments right now, but if you want to understand the actual project of what Cosmos is doing, you can just read it right here on CoinMarketCap. It just builds itself as a project that solves the hardest problems facing the blockchain industry. I mean, it's one of the same proof of work like concepts in regards to, which is very interesting. Or sorry, it's proof of stake, obviously, that tries to solve a lot of proof of work protocols, and it offers a high staking pool, which is really nice from a like investment perspective when you're talking about long-term downtrends. So I think it'll be great in regards to long-term downtrends if you're looking to just hold on to something and stake it and get a large share. But yeah, no, I would look into it more though before you put your money anywhere on a project, but I've definitely looked into it myself. I held some of it, but for a very short time. My core has been holding AMC since $70 and hasn't sold. Eli, can I get an F in the chat? F in the chats, bro, for Gage. Yo, shout out to Gage for stopping by the way, brother. That's so funny. F in the chat, dude. Average price was 7. Dude, why would you not? Reverse Hollows EX Team Rocket. I love reverse hollows. I think reverse hollows are completely undervalued right now. You can find some of them. Yeah, purple. Shh. Yeah, right. Yeah. Quiet, guys. Quiet on the reverse hollows. Quiet on the reverse hollows. Yo, one pickup I did get today that I do want to flex on you guys. Do I have my purchase history that I can show what I got recently? I'm going to show you guys. You guys probably don't really care that much, but I want to flex this. So I bought this Haunch Crow G reverse foil. I bought it for $85. It's a pop 1, and this guy is selling a bunch of these low pops for he's selling a bunch of these low pops for the Diamond and Pearl era, and some of them are really good prices for pop 1s. So I'm like, I'm gonna snag these because I'm the only one that owns that now. I snagged a case of Arceus V-Boxes for $120. Plebisaurus, can we get a round of applause for Plebisaurus? $120, what? They come with 6? You bought them for 20 a piece, bro. That's below MSRP. Round of applause, Plebisaurus. Best pickup of the day. Hands down. Dope, dude. That's so cool. Andrew Lopez, I agree. It's holding nicely. Is the Cosmic Eclipse plaque in the Arceus figure box you buy? Yes, it is. From the Pokemon Center? I'm going to assume so, Gabriel. I don't see why it would be different. I mean, the ones that I'm getting all have Cosmic in it, so I don't see why not. Yeah, and I think that you guys are having a conversation. Yes, don't get the UK ones. If you're in the UK, you're not going to get it. Only US boxes. I should be able to get Precious Collector's Box for MSRP in Japan and have them shipped to my grandparents' house in Japan and have them ship it over. Well, Koga, if you want to hook a brother up, I would love the Precious box. If you want to message me and, we can do a little bit of exchange. I'll pay you extra for it if you want to hook a brother up. In all seriousness, like if you want to message me, because that'd be sick, dude. I want a Precious box. I just came in. Think I should crack open the Arceus box? No, don't crack it open. I think it is not worth cracking open. It is way better displayed. If you want to open Cosmic Eclipse packs, just go open Cosmic Eclipse packs because it is way more worth it to do that. It's gonna be way cheaper. How much are Cosmic packs going for actually? Because I would be so stoked if they went down, because remember when we talked about how much they were gonna go down because of the balls? I mean, they went down like $5, and now we're sitting once again at them going down. How much are they going down? They're still seeing it around 10. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Look at this downtrend. It's gotta keep going. We want cosmic packs low. Let's see if we can get cosmic eclipse packs for cheaper. Cosmic eclipse booster pack. How much are they going for? How much are they going for? Lot of 2. Get out of here with that garbage. How much are they going for? Oh, that's lame, man. Still sitting at around 10 bucks. Hopefully it'll go down some more. Also, for those people that don't know, that are watching at this very moment, I currently do have my available on the website the Ancient Origins packs. Like I said, I'm selling the packs for what I bought the booster box for. So if you want to go check it out to the site, links down in the description below, Pokemon USA. But obviously, it's an expensive booster box, so I have to sell the packs for 21 bucks because that's what I was getting them for. But if that's something you guys are interested in, we still have a decent amount left because I literally just posted it the other day. So, but I'm excited. Ancient Origins has some amazing pulls in the set, including Shiny Rayquaza, and then it has obviously Mega, of course, for those people that want to take a look and see what it is. But yeah, no, we're going to be breaking that open this upcoming Sunday. It's going to be at opened at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. But yeah, you got the Mega Rayquaza, Mega Groudon. I think it's a shiny. I could be wrong, but Mega EX, Lugia. I mean, it's got a ton of great hitters in it. So I'm really excited about that. Obviously, if you look at general loose pack prices, they're going to be less. I wish I could offer it for more, but booster boxes are literally pushing $800. So I do apologize for that. I wish I could offer them for cheaper, but yeah, check us out on the website if you want to support the channel and just buy a pack or so. Like I said, I'm not making any money on it. I'm losing money. So just another way to support you guys. It's really interesting to see everything dipping in the market. You look at very high-end singles and Pokemon. It's very impressive how the prices have held. Love to see it. Brings legitimacy. Yes and no, Purple. Some of the cards have actually seen large drops. I talked about this actually the other day. When you're talking about some of the here, we'll look at Pokedata.io, right? So if we just go to Pokedata.io site and we'll go to let's sets, and then we'll go to what's the one I want to take a look at? I want to look up EX Deoxys, right? So if we just take a card like the Rayquaza still has gone down. It just obviously has held stronger than a lot of the items. But if you look at the 10, over the long-term growth, it was still at $45,000 and it has still gone down 10K. Like, it's not to say that it hasn't held up strong, because going from 45 down to 35 from a percentage perspective is still around 25 to 30%, and a lot of other cards have dropped 50+%. So fundamentally speaking, it's still holding up for a card that has 47 pop. But I definitely would say that, still these cards are going to take, they're going to take their retracements because demand is still going to go down. I have friends in the military station in Japan. Man, where's everyone got their freaking Japanese friends? Oh, dude, I'm jealous. What's up, Joe? How we doing, brother? Bearish on that. Already said that. You don't have a lot of content of Japan cards and products. Are you going to look into it in the future? Honestly, I've thought about it, and I might have to do that. If you guys have any recommendations on video that I should make content for, I'm all ears for it, because my recent content, my video that I did yesterday, didn't perform extremely well. I don't know what's going on. I was told the algorithm changed, and so some of my videos have not been performing up to par. It could be I'm out of touch on what people really want to talk about. So if you guys have, recommendations, either you leave it in the description, or if you just want to leave a comment right now, or if you want to message me, ping me saying I think you should talk about this and it's important, then I'm all open ears to it. So, but yeah, because I've seen a little bit of a recent drop off, and so I'm making sure that I'm in touch and not just putting out content that I want for myself, because at the end of the day, it's content that you guys want. And it's from my perspective, of course, so that's where I'm giving my input. Without sounding like a weeb, Joshua says. No, dude, we all are weebs here. And thanks, thank you, they're the best and love it in Japan. 7 to 10% return was very good. Yeah, no, it's a strong return when you compare it to general things, but oh, dang, you have a meeting. Well, have a good one there, Digi. People just got way too spoiled. 100% agree. Anyone else picking up collection? Again, LOL, been snagging stuff. I've looked here and there. Still can't find them in my area. Hash, we are talking crypto. That's funny. Money Machine Go Burr. Careful with Sol, y'all. Close to 50% liquidity is helping private VCs. Ooh, that's what you love to see. That's how it is with most cryptos, to be fair. Did Cosmic Clips ever get a reprint? What if Pokemon just slowly releases old set, new products? No, it never got a reprint. It never did. A reprint was supposed to happen and it ended up getting canceled, which is why if you look at the actual pack dates, it says 1999 to 2019. So it was a canceled, or 2020, I think. So it was a canceled reprint. So you'll see that on the packs themselves. Cosmic, yep. Cosmic got a pack reprint, never packed it. Nope, 100%. Yep. Speculation access projects, invest at your own risk. Yeah, no, agree. If Celebrations doesn't get a reprint, how would you gauge the size of Celebrations print we've seen so far for the long term? If it doesn't get a reprint, you're probably going to see these ETBs go up. Just the standard ETBs go up to a couple $100 in the next 5 years. I mean, everything's going to start to skyrocket in the next year or two. Depends on if a recession happens, then you'll see a slow growth and then an explosive growth once we see the market cycle go back to bullish again. That's what I would say. But as it stands right now, we're really just waiting to see how this recession is going to potentially affect the short-term growth of the market, and then that's going to really tell us how things are going to be affected. Eli, please tell me you're not bullish on crypto. I'm bullish on crypto long term, but in the next couple of years, definitely not. I mean, are you kidding me? This sucker's tanking. Got garbage pulls from Arceus box. The figure in the promo is so sick, though. It is cool, that's for sure. If you missed it, Derek, he revealed his Exodus wallet. Hey! I already moved all my money out of it, so you guys got nothing to see there. You guys got nothing to see there. Gold cards out of Arceus box. Hey, right on. Shout out to you, Pokemon collector. I think crypto is good to have some play money and maybe 1 or 2K. Nothing serious enough to. I mean, you guys saw how much I had in there. But I know I moved a lot of it around, so I don't have as much as you guys may think. Everyone's out here like stealing my wallet. What? It says it is 0. What the heck? Cosmic going for 10 a pack. Wow. Glad I snagged some a while ago. Yeah, I mean that 10 is a deal too, which is weird to think about. I'm hoping it'll go lower because the Arceus boxes, but who knows? I'm definitely bullish on Cosmic. Look at the price on ETB. Returns are great. Yeah, including specialty collections. I mean, we want to take a look at generations. I think you could definitely see the same thing happen. What do you think of the Japanese McDonald promos? Mike, I do not know much about those. And as I've said many times before, if I don't know much about it, I'm not going to speak out of my butt. So sadly, I really wish to say it that I just can't. I just can't speak on that behalf because I just don't want to give you misinformation. You need more thumbnails with your mouths, hands on face, and mouth gape. I don't know if you're serious or if you're kidding or not, but I mean, it could be something I could do. So it's definitely what a lot of people are doing. I think good Japanese Pokemon videos are hard to come by. Would definitely be interesting. Yeah, I could totally look into it. Recommendations. I think you should have me on a live. Yeah, have B Purple on a live. Well, I'm actually gonna be on Nostalgianomics this Thursday, so that'll be what's going on for me. Yo, what's up, James? How's it going, brother? Thanks for stopping by. Do you have any products in particular in the Pokemon Go set coming up that you're most looking forward to buy? I'm just looking forward to the fact of the matter that for the upcoming set, they're going to have a shiny Venusaur for the first time ever and a shiny Blastoise for the second time ever. So talk about excited. I sounded so fruity saying it that way. Our Arceus box is performing for you this for you. Let me read this one more time. How have the Arceus figure boxes been performing for you this far? I have to run 8 stores the other day and find some, and heard that there was a delay from a lot of distributors. I got all mine, and so far, all of individual orders with them have they've all shipped out. So if you ordered, of course, an Arceus bundle, like you bought an Arceus and then let's say an Astral, then you'll receive yours when Astral comes out. But to answer your question, I've already gotten all of mine, so that's weird to say. I haven't had delays on it from either of my distributors, actually. Both of them, I got them. LOL, no open all pictures, please. Yeah, I mean, hey man, like I said, whatever works. Maybe I'm not talking about it. I kind of figured though, because it's a top 5 video and a lot of people love top 5 videos. And then on top of that as well, you do typically see a lot of people are interested in WotC. So I figured that people would be interested in the review because I thought it was an informative video. Talked about a lot of undervalued product that people would be able to get because a lot of the times people are more interested in modern because it's cheaper, more affordable. I wanted to create a video showing that's you could totally find WotC product that is affordable. Figured the content would be good, but maybe the content wasn't good enough to hold people's retention. I had a high retention rate, so maybe it was the thumbnail, maybe it was the title, I don't know. So I guess I got to keep just figuring it out. I mean, it's not like it's the end of the world that I have, you know, 1 bad week, 2 bad weeks. I mean, you look at the exponential growth I've had as a channel, it's like, you know, I just always want to make sure that I'm not, how do I want to say this, getting stuck in what is my own personal thoughts. You know what I mean? So like, I believe that this is good content. However, that doesn't mean that that's what you guys want. And so I always want to be self-aware of that and make sure I'm giving what you guys want, because at the end of the day, this channel doesn't run without you guys. So that's just kind of how I look at it. Smash or pass video, trust me. Oh my god, could you imagine if I made a smash or pass video in the Pokemon world? That'd be the funniest thing if I just did a smash or pass video just for fun. Could you imagine, Koga? That's so funny. Late to the party, any input on your opinion? Wait, I missed it. On Japan promos, Ana, Poke Park, JR Stamp, vending series, etc. We were just talking about some of the Japanese promos. I love the Japanese stamp one. I think that's great. Vending series is pretty cool. And then also the new Precious promo is also really good. So those are a couple of them to name the least. But Eli, hope all is well. Good with you, man. But yeah, I'm doing well. Hopefully all is good with you as well, sir. I think you would kill it if you made a video comparing different cryptos to Pokemon. Like what's the Cardano of Pokemon? Zach agrees. Interesting. Huh, that could be an interesting video topic. Yeah, I'll definitely have to look into that. If that's something you guys are serious about, I'll definitely have to do that. And like I said before, feel free to message me if you guys have any ideas individually and you want to really give me some feedback on what to talk about. But I could totally do that in comparison. Say like what the Cardano is of the sphere. That's interesting when comparing it. Huh, didn't really think about it like that. Especially because some people we've had on shall remain nameless are boy. Wow, dude. All right, we're not gonna smack people there, Purple. Let's not do. Serena though, what about oh, I see what you're saying, Narwhal. Love the Venom series. Smash or pass, let's go in the hobby. Let's go. Are we gonna do, well, here's the questions, Purple. Are we gonna do smash or pass on Pokemon card characters, or will we do smash or pass on like people in the actual hobby? Like, because how much drama are you trying to start here there? Like, what are we trying to do here, man? Do you know how to order Precious collection boxes? Sadly, I do not, your average player. Before, I used to buy a lot of my product from Nin. Like I said before, I stopped going to them because they're pretty expensive. So it's entirely possible they could have it. I mean, we can take a look and see what they got for Pokemon. So Pokemon card game, we'll take a look, see what Nin has available. But yeah, you can order it on Nin, but I don't even know what the price is. See, that's the thing, man. Pokemon Center online store limited exclusive. Notify me when it's available. I don't even know what they were selling it for before. So, but I don't know if anyone has other recommendations of where to buy it. But Nin was my place for a while. Look at the classic all-star tag teams. Goodness gracious. Oh wait, no, these are classic. Isn't that the all-star, or am I messing up? But look, hey, there's the Pokemon Go series. Yeah, man, they're just, they're charging a lot. They are charging a lot. Especially, that's not even including the shipping. I've enjoyed, wait, whoa, I missed. James says, I've been enjoying the hunt to find old EX era cards. They were my favorite as a kid, and after 9 stolen, oh, dude, I'm sorry. Oh, dang, that's so tough. Having them stolen, man, kids can be brats sometimes, I swear. Maybe you have Gary King Pokemon on and you guys can say smash or pass with members of the hobby. Gary, that's an idea. Now the Pokemon make it extra weird. What do you, What do you mean? Oh, I see what you're saying. Make it extra weird. Like, yo, I'd totally smash a mill tank all day. Like, don't even question it. Yo, could you imagine I did a video on that? That would actually be pretty funny, Koga. It wouldn't be one of my like Monday, Wednesday, Friday videos. I would probably just make it for fun. Latias is a smash. Poke Trainer Jess is a pass. I see what you're saying. What are your top 5 modern products to invest in if you had 1K right now? Taylor says. Arceus figure collection, Arceus figure collection, and then Arceus figure collection. And I'm not even capping. I think that I would put all my money in that if you can get it for around 20 to 25, but not financial advice, not a financial advisor. But if you want more variety, you could probably get some good variety with ETBs off of Brilliant Star, both the Pokemon Center exclusive, the regular ones. Shining Fates just had a reprint. Shining Fates would be good. Vivid Voltage just got a reprint. That'll be good. Darkness Ablaze ETBs. There's a lot of opportunity in the market right now, which is really nice to see. But I'm a huge fan of the Arceus figure collection. That would be funny. That would actually be funny. So or you guys see I need to have more funny content? Is that what I'm hearing? I mean, I could totally do that. Like, I could totally do that. So, Pokemon National Dex just says, yeah, dude, I'm going for that milk tank. That's so dumb. I don't know why I found that so funny. Just like, just make the cheesiest jokes about how I want to smash a Beedrill. Oh my god, so stupid. What do you think we should expect for regular sets if the economy gets much worse than it is not now? Maybe fewer print waves or more expensive packs and or both. LOL, what else could we see? Probably fewer printing waves. Sets that are in demand will be in you will see them go up, but not as much, and then when they do get their reprints, they're gonna sit stagnant for a while, kind of like what you saw with Evolutions getting printed into the ground. And then the sets that are underperforming will probably be very low pop, like supply in regards to overall booster boxes and loose products. So overall, just a lower supply in the market for sure. That's kind of what you saw the last time Pokemon was in a recession with like Diamond and Pearl era product. It was not super high demand and it was very low supply. And even the ones that were in higher demand still were low supply because there was just less printing of it. Do you worry about any special climax control or climate controlling for your sealed product and or singles? Yeah, humidity is a huge one if you live in areas such as like Florida or Texas. Definitely being very conscious of that. That's why I like keeping them in sealed cases. If I do buy a case, or if you want to, you can always look at the dimensions of what your cases are and just buy them and then just put them in those. I think someone did a smash or pass all the Pokemon recently on YouTube. I've seen some people do jokes about that on like what the most edible Pokemon would be. The milk tea won't be nice. Just saying, yo, bro, Tangrowth though, that's some anime hentai kind of stuff. You can get the Moo Milk Kill up at the HP. Yo, I'm using my big brain right there, boys. Markiplier did a video that has 10 million views. Yo, no pass, baby. We ain't passing out here. We're desperate in these parts. Yeah, of course, Andrew. I mean, you can always keep rapid firing your questions. I'm always gonna answer your guys' questions. I'm your guys's for literally 2 hours, so you can ask me literally anything you want as long as it's not extremely creepy. Oh, I've had that happen before. That's the only reason why I have to say it. Pidgeot is sexy though. God, you guys are so funny. Seismic Shock made a smash or pass for every Pokemon a few weeks ago. Not saying don't do it, just saying it's there. Seismic Shock? I mean, let's look at the engagement on it. Let's at least see what the engagement on Seismic Shock's video was. By popular demand, smash or pass is what people are saying. So this guy, Seismic Shock TV. Let's not do that. And let's just click on his actual channel. So, let's see. A couple weeks ago? How far back? Oh, this one. Oh, it did not. Oh, wow. That's his worst performing video. What are you talking? That was his worst performing video, guys. You guys are trying to get me crushed. I mean, it sounds like a fun thing to do one way or another, regardless of views, but that was one of his worst performing videos in a pile of really good performing videos. Y'all out here acting like Quagsire ain't the baddest. Yo, what about the Whoopie Boy? What are you talking about? Simpsons did it. Quags that would be wet. You guys are so wrong. Bro, Littler is definitely the best. You guys are so sus. Oh my god, you guys are so sus. Oh my goodness gracious, I can't believe I'm playing into this. I'm just saying, if we're being completely serious, I'm just saying, I already got one in mind. How could you not with Low Punny? Does anyone remember Lola, like the bunny from like literally the original cartoons? Like, I'm just saying, guys, come on, let's have a real question here. Do you think the less desirable sets that are very expensive now will drop a lot in value if the market turns, or will enough big players just buy them up to keep the price of what they already are? So when you say, Andrew, two parts of this. When you say the less desirable sets that are very expensive, which ones are you referencing? Are you talking about like Steam Siege, Crimson Invasion, or I've been wondering about this for a while regarding the whole situation of the market. But what's your credit card number in CV? That's such a curveball. Koga, that's so funny. Yeah, don't forget the social, guys. Not the Low Punny, bro. Come on, how are you not going with the Low Punny? You guys are sus. You guys are sus if you don't like the Low Punny. Come on, guys. What is this? The thickness, I agree, Andrew. God, we're a bunch of goobers at this point. People were thinking they were actually gonna hear opinions on Pokemon card market. What a sham. Yo, look at the news, guys. It's all Phantasma, dude. What a sham. What a sham. But yeah, but to answer your question though. Yeah, make sure they're female. Yeah, you gotta make sure with that. Otherwise, you got a Gallade on the other hand. You're like, wait a second. Yeah, which sets are you in referencing to, Andrew? Serena? Come on. I already know exactly which. We're talking Serena. Oh, I knew you were gonna say that one. Yo, Serena, you know, she's got them curves, I'll tell you that, you know what I'm saying? Latias is a bae. Get yourself a thick girl. Yes, the Steam Siege of Pokemon. What do you think will happen? I mean, I would say that they're still out of print items, so you'll have general demand for it. Definitely. That's a great question, actually. I think that's a pretty good question to ask, Andrew. I don't have any sales history on what happened last time in the market, so it's really up for personal debate on what could happen. Let's say like a set like Legends Awaken, Great Awakens. What's that set that everyone hated from the EX era? Polkadot.io. Here, well, here's one we can try and compare it to. But one of the most hated sets in the EX era would hands down have to be Legend Maker. Not Legend Maker. Woo, ho ho. Oh, I was about to say fighting words. Where is it? Where is this set that I'm looking for? Hidden Legends. There we go. Hidden Legends was one of the most anticlimactic sets, we'll say. Sure, it has a Dark Celebi, which is kind of cool, but other than that, it's not that good of a set. It's got a couple EXs, but no gold stars, no nothing. And the set performs super like poorly long term, but in regards to pack value, it's still gone up. If we were to track the overall value, I'm going to say that, I mean, we can try and go based off of what we're seeing with the, gosh dang it, man, I keep clicking Legends Makers instead of Hidden Legends. If we're going to go off of what we're seeing with the raw value and what we could make predictions for, let's take a look at like the Kyogre, for example, right? So if we go off the Kyogre EX and we go off of the history of what the 10's been doing, the 10 still had remarkable growth long term. However, if you look at what it was doing in the short period of time, it was still going up. It was just very slowly. So, of course, this was not the recessionary period. This is when the Pokemon market was still doing well after the bubble. So we don't actually have the sales history for that, but I imagine you'll probably see a slight correction to start, and then it'll have a slower growth. That's just my personal opinion on what I would say with Steam Siege. Now, of course, this was a bad set, but looking back on it, you've got Kyogre, you've got Groudon, you've got some other Celebi and other cards versus, let's say, like a Steam Siege. Doesn't really have any of those kind of cards. So you'll probably see it perform extremely poor still. But you'll still see a general return over time. It's just not going to be extremely high. I mean, we go once again, seal product. Let's go like Steam Siege and see how it performed. Do we seriously, is it seriously not going to show us Steam Siege booster boxes? Man, that's upsetting. Crimson Invasion, maybe? At least let's take a look at Crimson. Crimson Invasion. I mean, they don't have the sales history on that. Yeah, it's just hard to say, man. We don't have sales history, but that's what I would say my prediction is. You're probably going to see an initial decline, and then you're going to see an initial sideways stagnant growth, but it's going to be a lot slower than a lot of the other higher performing sets. Would you say Rebel Clash and Sword and Shield base are performing better than expected so far? No, they're performing as expected based on their supply. They're performing a lot worse if they had the same amount of reprints as, say, a set like, Battle Styles, which has the most reprints out of any set in the Sword and Shield era. You guys are wrong. Hidden Legends? Yeah, I know. I messed up. But I'm comparing it to the majority of the other sets in the EX era. It was one of the disliked ones. Okay, that makes sense. Well, hoping for some retraces. LOL, I want to buy a few booster boxes, just way too much. No, I get you on that one, Andrew. Yeah, I mean, the performance of it as it stands right now in a more or less bull market for Pokemon has been pretty stagnant. So you got to imagine in a recessionary period, it's more than likely going to not perform well. And then continue to be stagnant. That's what I would say. The gold water energy from Crimson Invasion is so nice. I mean, like I said, every set's going to have their cards that are going to be good, but... Raheem. Crimson Invasion has a Rainbow Guzzlord. How could you not love that set? Yeah, right? That's so funny. Let's take a look at Crimson Invasion, everyone's favorite set. Sun and Moon era. It's one. Why do they always gotta have... Man, Sun and Moon era Crimson Invasion. Remember when... Look at literally how the first half of Sun and Moon looked and the second half. First half of Sun and Moon was literally Sun and Moon base, Guardians Rising, Burning Shadows, Crimson Invasion. Like, if you look at these first four sets, you say to yourself, man, this is gonna bomb as an era. Then it hits Shining Legends, Ultra Prism, Forbidden Light. You're like kind of mid. And then you're like, okay, Celestial Storm, Dragon Majesty. Okay, we're picking it. Okay. And then you see Detective Pikachu. But they really crushed it at the back end of there. But yeah, Crimson Invasion, I mean, you got the Gyarados. Man, the reverse holo Gengar's going for that much? Jesus loves me. That's crazy. Bro, but the real question is, Rainbow Guzzlord? Come on, bro. 53 and a 10. Like, come on, bro. Like, that's undervalued in my opinion, you know? Show support. Hey, what's up, SDC? Showing support. Please keep making these videos. Did you already comment on SM Pratt's last video? I have not commented on it, but I did watch his last video. I watched, I want to say, 50% of it. I never fully finished it. But he was talking about the pros and cons of investing in Modern. But if you have any points to make on it, because like I said, I didn't finish it, so I can't give you my full opinion on the video. Why are Sun and Moon base ETBs still about MSRP? They had a reprint of them, or not a reprint. There was a large supply of them that showed up on the market, and so the price crashed. That's why. Hidden Legends is one of the most beautiful sets of all time. Just saying. Purple's trolling at this point. Yeah, I'll definitely be watching these low performing sets to see how they do. Yeah, no, of course. I mean, this will be nice because we'll have this, sites like Pokedata and others that are going to be tracking analytical data points on what we're going to see in a recessionary period that we never had before. Low pops on the Dragon Majesty boys is caution. What do you mean by that? Low pops on the Dragon Majesty is caution. Are you talking about for like 10s? I mean, for a Sun and Moon era set, that's... Huh, interesting. Yeah, that's pretty low pop for sure. But what's the pack value for Dragon Majesty? Isn't it like 30 bucks? The Gyarados is like nice. I like the full art. Yeah, I mean, some of these cards are cool. Surprised the Charizard isn't the most expensive 10. Usually how it goes. Especially in a low pop. Interesting. Man, that's really interesting. I expect it to be worth more. Argument it's undervalued. That was such a horrible video. Pratt sound like someone pissed they didn't sell. Didn't sell at the peak. Totally off base in that vid. I'll have to go back and watch it for sure. So, because I only finished the first half. I never finished the second half. So, and I want to make sure that I'm giving my full educated opinion and not just spatting nonsense. Yeah, no, that is definitely low. I think Sword and Shield will be remembered fondly. It was the era during the pandemic. Logan Paul, then you had Evolving Skies, Hidden Fates. You mean Shining Fates? But yeah, I know what you meant. Brilliant Star. I think as much as we talk about it, no, it'll definitely be remembered, specifically for Evolving and Brilliant. Those are going to be ones that are going to definitely be remembered fondly. I saw the ETBs were 30-ish. That's about appropriate then if they're going for around 30 a pack. Miss the Love. I will be saving boxes to open in the future. Yeah, dude, I understand that feeling. Looks dank Dragon Majesty ETBs. He made some good points. Eva said, "Hey, what's up, Ava? How we doing?" I love how every time I read your name, I read it as Eva, and then I always have to correct myself after I read it, because initially I read the Eva part and then I read the binders and then I'm like, oh, it's Ava. I do this every single time and you're never gonna stop giving me shit for it. Brad sucks so bearish. I don't want to give my... I have to be very careful because I'm at a point where I do have a decent amount of following where I can actually have influence. I've watched a lot of Pratt's videos. I think he's brought a lot to the hobby. I think he brings a lot to the hobby. And I do think that there's a lot of points in videos he does make. He does make good points. I'm sorry, Ava. I'm not hurt. I'm fine. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. But you're going to keep giving me shit about it either way, so I can't do anything about it. I'm sorry. But going back on topic. Anyway. How many Avas are you watching? A lot of them? No. But basically, one of the things I want to say, going back to it before I get off topic with him, I would say that there is a tendency for a lot of WotC era people, a lot of EX era people, a lot of first gen people specifically too, that basically spend a lot of their time focusing in on that era and don't have enough information about modern and the way in which they follow things. Now, do I think that one of those people is SM Pratt? It's hard for me to say. I want to refrain from saying anything. I've watched some of his opinions that I've disagreed on in regards to Diamond and Pearl era product, ultra modern product. And he's made correction videos coming out and saying that he was wrong about some of his stuff. Not literally blatantly titling it like I'm wrong and stuff, but he was surprised on some of the value some of these things held. And I think it really just comes down to the fact of the matter that there's always that nostalgic bias based on your era. So I think that like I said, I'm subscribed to him. I enjoy his content. I watch his content. I agree with him on some things. I don't agree with him on some other things. And that's okay, because that's how it goes for literally every single PokeTuber, whether it be Nostalgianomics, whether it be Ava, whether it be Pokenomics. There's always going to be things I'm going to disagree with at the end of the day, right? And I know everyone has their opinions on that person, and they think they're smug, or they think they're this, and I think they're that, and I can understand that. Like, there's definitely a sense of arrogance for some people in the Pokemon market, and some people definitely are sitting on high horses and think they're ever better than everyone, right? I completely understand that, right? And that's why I try to be from the perspective of, it's not financial advice, I'm not a financial advisor. If there's some things I know that I feel like I can give you a good opinion on, I'm going to let you know my general opinion. If it's something I feel like I have a weak opinion on, but I still know some information, I'm going to tell you that, but I'm going to say I have a weak opinion. And if I don't know, because I don't have an opinion, I'm not going to give you an opinion on something. I'm not going to be one of those people that makes a comment on something that's going on in the world and then actually not know what I'm talking about and refrain from actually telling you my opinion that I just formulated based on what everyone else is telling me. I'm going to give you my formulated opinion based on what I came to the conclusion of, based off of the information that I retained and I was informed upon. And so for that reason, like I said before, this is a market where everyone's got their own opinions and so on and so forth. So they can have their own opinions and they can have their own beliefs, and I'm going to have my own, and I'm going to stick to myself and being myself. And if people think I'm smug, or if people think that they disagree with my opinions or whatever negative outlook they have on me, then it's a bummer, but I can't please everyone. I know sometimes, a lot of times people try doing that and it doesn't end up working out a lot of the times, but I'm just going to be the person who I am, and I'm just going to give you the content that I think is that you guys want. And if that's not something you guys want, then it'll be reflected in the views for the channel, or the likes or the dislikes, and I'll make sure to ask you guys what I need to correct, because I'm not the person that's always going to be right. I'm going to have my opinions, and I'm going to make sure that you guys keep me accountable on it. Kind of like how I keep saying Evolving Skies. There could be a reprint for it in May. I'm making my predictions. If I'm wrong, you guys are going to hold me accountable and you're going to flame me for it. And then I'm going to shut up, and then I'm going to move on. And I'm going to stay in my lane. So I get it. You're a big guy in the space now. You need to be 100% non-controversial. Yes and no. I mean, like I said, I'll give my opinions, but I'm definitely not here to crap on people. But all these boomers are trying to brainwash us hip young kids. Shake my head. It got a point. Oh, that's so funny. Yo, what's up, Valenti? How we doing, brother? Bro, Pokemart, seriously, thank you for saying that. Yeah, of course, man. No problem. I appreciate you for that. Being serious, by the way, not sarcastic. Hey, I'm not smug. Hey, well, that's good to hear at least. Yeah, I try not to be. I try to be down to earth. Everyone has their moments, though. Like I said, I don't want to get caught in one of those moments. But, oh, I just realized, too. We didn't even do a poll for what next Tuesday is going to be. Oh, I guess I'm going to have to do that poll on Thursday because we missed it. We had like 60 people at one point, and that's when I should have done the poll. So, but I missed it. Plus, we're missing a lot of our regulars at this point. So we had Derek stop by. Travis ain't here. I saw Pika Pika. I saw a lot of other people that aren't here. So I'll have to do it another time on when we're going to do the poll for the next booster box. So, but I also want to see how Ancient does. So, because Ancient is going to be the most expensive booster box that we're doing. So, based on how that does is going to also predict on what price point we're going to be sitting comfortably in when it comes to our breaks. But what's up, Spencer? How's it doing? How's it going? Hopefully all is well. Import tax on product. Shipping values from outside of EU, Denmark is 25% at $25 custom fees. So if the product is $100, you have to pay $150 in total. Yeah, no. Okay, so first off, thank you for telling us that information, mister, because that actually helps us calculate it. So the item he was looking for was a Vmax climax box. And the Vmax climax boxes are going for roughly around $56 to $55. So if we're saying to ourselves 55 and then we multiply it by 1.25 plus $10, that means he can get it in the States for around $80. So when he said 120, I would say that's pretty expensive using those calculations that you gave us. I think the problem is that when you get to certain points, you forget what it's like to only get one booster box and pray for a good pull just to be disappointed. And they only think of higher end cards. Yeah, I get what you're saying on that one, Andrew. Some people can definitely be out of touch on that. Wow, that's good intel. Didn't know that. Yeah, no, that's great intel. Seriously. What's the convo been about today? Oh, it's been all over the place, Spencer. We were having conversations about the new Precious box from Japan, talking about some of the Precious, or some of the Japanese promos. We're talking about correlation for crypto to Pokemon and what's going on in the crypto market. We were talking about all over the place, man. But I would say that's probably the main two. So that's, I would say, the main kind of pieces of discussion we've had today. So it's been all over the place, though. 2020 pump was a lot of people. Poke investment tubers said nothing. Well, I remember, if we're talking about, let's say, SM Pratt, for example, one of the things I like to do is I love going back and watching older people or older videos on people. Because if you're really going to want to know the consistency of an individual, go back and watch their older videos of certain times and understand what's going on during that time and understand their opinion on that time. Because their opinion changes, and it changes because they're adapting to what other people are believing and not changing their opinion based on changing information, then that's where you can really catch people. And one of the things I liked about SM Pratt is, for the most part, his content stayed very consistent. And that's one of the reasons why I liked it, because I was able to watch his older videos and then correlate it to modern, like modern day, not literal modern product. So that's one of the things I did with Rudy. I mean, I learned a lot about Rudy watching his older videos and then correlating it to now. It's very informative. I mean, if you guys want to go back and look at some of my older videos, you can see the consistency that I have on my videos, and you can catch me on it if I'm inconsistent, and if I'm not, and if I am consistent, then great. Try and be consistent in your content and consistent in your values, and not trying to waver and, you know, flip-flop to always be right is important, in my opinion. B, yeah, you're exactly right. They were just saying everything will go to the moon. I mean, to be fair, everything did go to the moon, and that's how it is in Pokemon market and crypto markets. You'll have people say, follow my YouTube channel and I'll show you which crypto to get in. They're going to go 100x, and that's literally how it is in a bull market. And then when it's a bear market, it's like, all right, I'm going to go away. It's like Ty Lopez. Anyone remember Ty Lopez when the crypto market first happened? And then he went quiet as soon as it went bearish? Like, come on, dude. I'll crap on that guy. Negative at all. In my garage with my Lamborghini. Vivid Voltage DA booster boxes, because a lot of them were selling at that price, you know. Some channels were, but I feel like a lot of them were more the collectors channels who didn't have much of a bias. I agree with that 100%, Ava. No, I 100% agree with that. You see a lot of channels that were mainly focused on just showing off their collection and their product, and then translating that to what the trend was of what to buy and what to invest, and being asked questions out of their purview. It's tough because they're at fault, but they're not at fault. Like, they're not at fault because they had to adapt their content, and if they wanted to stay relevant in what was the investing era of Pokemon, which is now what we're seeing, but they're at fault because a lot of them didn't really seem informed on what they were talking about. So I would definitely, I 100% agree with what Ava's saying. It's just interesting to see that kind of perspective, because there's a lot of Poketubers that are very much non-investment based, collecting based, and then transformed into let's talk about investing, and then don't actually understand general, like, economic theory and trends. Were you selling those stupid booster boxes for 200? I was there too, my man. Yeah, you know. Oh, I remember when Vivid Voltage booster boxes were 240. Yikers! That was crazy. That was so expensive. My goodness gracious. I can't even believe it got up to that point. So, thoughts on Troll and Toad slashing their bulk price from 13 to whoa. It's about right, Raheem. Honestly, that sounds like a lot, but it's about right. Because if you take a look at what's going on with, let's say, in my opinion, one of the most competitive bulk buyers is Safari Zone. And Safari Zone collectibles at one point had their bulk for 5.2 cents, right? And if you go to their Pokemon bulk submission right now, it is currently sitting at 0.015. So they're sitting at around the same price right now. So bulk prices right now are in the gutter, like in the gutter. So if you're someone who invests in bulk, which you might say to yourself, investing in bulk, who invests in bulk? Investing in bulk can be very profitable. So if you're someone who invests in bulk, it's dirt cheap right now, like dirt cheap, right? Because at one point it was sitting at 5.2 cents. It's now sitting at literally a penny and a half. So if you can pick up some bulk rares long term, it's interesting. It's interesting. So, but it sounds about right based off of current market value for what bulk's prices are, especially considering I'm sitting on right now probably about 30,000 bulk cards, non-trainers, just common, uncommon bulks that are not worth anything to me. I'm probably sitting around 50K versus of just general Pokemon cards, but about 30 of it is general bulk. The rest is like trainers and other cards. Do you think that kids of the 90s will be more into Pokemon in the future because something they will grow up doing and have what their parents have? Growing up, I know my son loves Pokemon. Do you think the kids of the 90s... Well, I am one of the kids of the 90s. I was born in 98. So I would say that I would say more appropriately, Andrew, is that you have kids in the 90s that are doing what I'm doing, like myself. And more correctly, I think it's going to be the kids of the 2000s. So like the kids that grew up collecting XY era product, collecting Sun and Moon and Sword and Shield era. Those are the kids that are going to have the nostalgia and that are going to drive the market, as well as black and white. I would go as far back to black and white, honestly, because if you look at black and white prices, although booster boxes are pretty expensive and general cards have started to get spendy, the general population for finding a lot of these booster boxes, it's still pretty easy to find them. There's a large population versus if you look at like a lot of booster boxes for Diamond and Pearl, sometimes you'll see like maybe one, sometimes zero showing up. And it's not a super competitive like market. You'll have just people that are advertising their, Instagram pages or so on and so forth. But going on to that too, Diamond and Pearl had a remake, and because of that, it really brought back the nostalgia. And for myself, I kind of stopped collecting for a couple of years, specifically after XY, because I really just didn't really like XY that much. XY was not my favorite era. And then I came back near the back end of Sun and Moon and like Unified Cosmic time. So for me, it was like a gap period of XY and Sun and Moon that I wasn't collecting. And so you're going to see a large portion of people that were not collecting in the black and white era or were collecting the black and white era, but then had that gap, more than likely come back into the space when they do black and white remakes, because they just did a black and white, or they just did a Diamond and Pearl remake. They've done a Gen 3 remake. They've done a Gen 2 remake. They've done a Gen 1 remake. So they've done a remake for every generation up until Gen 4, and Gen 5 is next. So it just makes sense to me that's going to do it. But yeah. I am sure you also didn't buy Vivid Voltage DA, but of course. You're talking to Ava, correct? Barnes and Noble's membership is on the move. That's so funny. I didn't even know it was a thing. You're good, Andrew. What's up, everyone? Just dropping in to say hi. Keep it the work. Hey, I appreciate you, Julio. Thank you so much, brother. Lord Bulbasaur, how do you plan to cash out on the bulk? That is a great question. Where did you get that information, Raheem? I would love to see that. Ooh, that is interesting. So Raheem just sent me a chart saying units sold of individual games. And this is actually a really good correlation. Wow, Raheem, this is a huge chart. I'm actually keep this. So it's a chart that says the correlation of units sold for certain games. So the first game ever sold were red, green, blue, and then obviously you had yellow. So red, green, and blue, between the three of those games, they sold for 31 million units. And that was one of the first games. If you want to divide it up, because we can break it down, and this will be a good chart. I'm actually curious where you got that. Tell me where you got that. You break this down by 3. That means it's about 10 million units for each one of those. Then you say yellow sold about 14 as a unit. So yellow actually performed better than all of red, green, and blue, which is cool to see. Then you have the next up, Pokemon Sword and Shield. 24 million between the two of them. I don't even have to do the math. That's 12 million each. That means they sold more units than red, green, and blue, which makes sense because population has gone up over time. However, gold and silver sold about around the same. Diamond and pearl sold 17 million. Then you've got X and Y at 16 million, Sun and Moon at 16, Ruby Sapphire at 16, Black and White at 15, and then 14.6 million for Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, so on and so forth. Interesting. This is showing units in regards to sales. So I feel like that could be a good corollary factor in making predictions on the future of what could be demand on reprints. That's interesting. Diamond and Pearl definitely was a lot higher, I'll tell you what. What were the sales on the remakes for Oros? Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire? Sold around the same as Ruby Sapphire, just slightly less. Interesting. Emerald's the worst selling one? What kind of garbage is that? Emerald's the best out of all of them. How do you plan on cashing out on bulk? I didn't answer your question, little Bulbasaur. So I was cashing out on bulk when it was at around 5 cents. Now that it's not at around 5 cents, I myself am just holding on to the bulk, personally. And if I'm being completely honest, how do I plan on cashing out on bulk? If they're trainers, then I sell them individually. If they are competitively viable cards, I sell them individually. But if they're just general uncommon common cards, I literally have them bubble wrapped by the 1,000 and they're just sitting in my garage for now. I'm coming up with a strategy on how I want to do it. Do I really want to hold a market cycle of bulk and just wait till them to go to 5 cents? You know, I mean, you're telling me that I could either get $300 or I could get $1,500 in the next market cycle. It's hard to say, but I'm just waiting for the demand cycle to go down, or I'm going to start doing some sort of like, I don't know, bundles where I make, because I've had people tell me that I should make specialty pack for them and just have my own, like, you know, Pokemon USA packs that I make for fun. So I could potentially do something like that and try and get rid of bulk that way, but I haven't fully decided, so it's really hard to say because at this point I'm just holding on to it. Think we'll see tag team cards make a come in the new Pokemon gen? No clue. I have no predictions on that, Nick, but that'd be sweet, that's for sure. BDSP has done so well for being almost an exact remake. Best performing remake game. Yeah, it's because of the demand for Diamond and Pearl. I mean, Diamond and Pearl is ranked number 4 as one of the most valuable. And Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, which absolutely blows, in my opinion, terrible remake, performed better than Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, which in my opinion is way better. I think there also probably are variables, Raheem, because since a lot of people were stuck at home, it probably contributed to that, and video gameplay went up. So I would say that's a factor, but still, that's ridiculous that it performed that well. Yeah, I mean, 15 to 20 years in the future when our kids are grown up and have a full life of playing and collecting cards with their families, could we see an even bigger boom than this time? Oh, 1,000%. If you believe in Pokemon as a whole, demand will naturally scale upwards. That's just general, just healthy market trends. It's kind of like Bitcoin's original all-time high was $100, and then its all-time high was 1,000, and then its all-time high was 3,000, and then 20,000, and then 69,000, and then it made a low, but then it made a higher low, and then a higher low, and then a higher low. It's the same thing for just general markets. If you believe in the hobby, then general demand will go up over time. A lot of our kids will be buying cards, and hopefully we'll be there still. Yeah, you know. Can we get some likes on this video? Yes, I'd appreciate it. Thank you for the shout out on that, Purple. It's from the Pokemon subreddit. Huh, interesting. That's good to know. Sapphire Ruby, best era ever. I put it second. My top 3 favorite eras. Well, honestly, if we're going 5, I mean, Gen 1 through 5 is, like, it's amazing. Gen 1 through 5 are definitely the best 5, for sure. I think after 5, it started to go downhill. X and Y wasn't the worst, but it wasn't the best from a game perspective. Sun and Moon, I never bought Sun and Moon. Sun and Moon to this day is the only game I've never bought. It's the only one I haven't. I've bought every other game. But yeah, God, growing up, Gen 1 was great. Gen 2, I grew up playing Heart Gold, the remakes. Loved it. Platinum's still my favorite game of all time. Emerald's my second favorite game of all time. God, Emerald was so good. Sapphire was my first ever, so the Sapphire holds a place in my heart. I still have my original Sapphire from when I was 6, and when we went and bought the actual box. 45 views, let's get it. What's up, Tom? No gold, silver, and crystal. I had a friend that played silver and crystal, but that was past my time. But I definitely loved heart gold. Heart gold was fun, but like I said, I like the 5. Emerald is dope. Thank you for the answer. Just open a TCG player account. Selling the commons and nonsense makes 0 sense. Yeah, no, I agree, Lord Bulbasaur. I just don't do that. It's just a waste of time. It's just a waste of time. Even if you're saying you're part of the direct seller program with TCG, like, unless you're selling it after fees for more than what you can sell for bulk, you're wasting your time. It sucks. But what do you think of the potential Skyridge PSA cards? I think there's definitely potential for them. I mean, we've talked about the Skyridge a while ago. It's been a while since we've actually talked about Skyridge. Here, let's go to sets. So, taking a look at the Skyridge sets, obviously, I mean, it's hard to say when you say potential because you already have the Charizard that's going for so much, and a lot of these cards are already going for so much because they're part of that e-reader era. So when you say potential, I guess, do you think it could go up higher? Is that what you mean? Because I would make an argument that these are already at like peak prices when you're talking about PSA 10s, like for when the era came out. Obviously, you take a look at the 9s. Even the 9s are relatively expensive. It's definitely an extremely expensive era, but that's just because the supply is so small. Do you have an IG presence? So Purple, I actually, speaking of that, just recently posted for the first time on my IG in over 6 months. So I'm trying to get back on IG. I'm going to start posting my collections. So if you guys want to check it out, I actually just made this post of me flexing my collection. I'm just going to start posting daily of just my collection and what I have, or maybe every other day. I haven't decided what the actual schedule is. Shout out to Derek for being the first commenter, but yeah, I used to get a decent amount of people that would like my stuff, like anywhere between 20 to like 40. Obviously, I'm just getting back into it, so I don't expect a ton of an initial following. But yeah, I'm just gonna try and create a presence on IG. But I'm sitting at around 718 followers. But to be fair, I got like 600 in a month, and then when I stopped posting, I just stopped getting followers. So just got to start posting more actively. But love them PSA 9s. Yeah, dude, they're great. Arceus kind of underperformed. That is true. That is interesting to see. And honestly, I think that there's a reason why. I could be wrong, Raheem. Could be wrong. Actually, wait a second. Yeah, man, Arceus did underperform. I mean, obviously you can say if you break up Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl as a pair, but even then you say yellow versus red, green, blue. Yellow was the standalone, it performed the strongest. Huh, that's interesting. I think there was a lot of hype for it, and a lot of people didn't like the grindiness of the aspect of the game. I mean, it's not a bad one for its first play, but it has a very weak storyline. What's up, just another lefty? Smash the like button, baby. Arceus was the first Pokemon game I've enjoyed in a while. I never finished it. I got to 4 stars and I stopped because it was too grindy. It's just hard, man. A lot of these newer games are just not as fun as they used to be. Maybe it's just me, but Legendary Arceus, I believe, is the fastest or one of the fastest selling Pokemon games of all time and didn't have the boost of holiday sales. That is true. It was an Arceus. It was an awesome game, Arceus. Same, bro. Sapphire was my first too. Love Sapphire. Could not get myself to finish Arceus. Felt like a tech demo. I feel that, Raheem. I feel that. Could not finish it. Yeah, I started with blue, red, and yellow. Dang. Yeah, you started far back. Sapphire was my first, but I had a buddy that had Crystal, and I would like watch him play it. So that was the first game I was actually exposed to. I just played it for a couple hours, but it was a cool game. Yeah, that's the thing though, is you can't finish it, man. I couldn't, at least. Also, Legends didn't have the added boost of 2 box arts, and a lot of people buy them. Yeah, but you take a look at Pikachu from Yellow, and its standalone beat both red, blue, and green. Do you think we could ever see remake sets like that with Evolutions, but with Team Rocket or Skyridge? I definitely think it's up it's possible. I mean, we've obviously seen light cards and other cards being introduced for remakes from Celebrations, and we've seen evolutions be remade, so I definitely see it. Of course, the crystals. Okay, so one thing I want to say, I just looked right now. I'm throwing a scissor. I'm throwing skizzers. One thing I did want to say is we are over our time, so I'm going to start wrapping up the last 5 minutes. But I'd be without remorse if I didn't mention, once again, we're doing a breaker. We're going to be opening the break packs 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for Ancient Origins this upcoming Sunday. So make sure if you want to support the channel or just check it out. We're selling the packs for 21 bucks a piece. As I mentioned before, I'm selling them for literally what I am buying them for, so I'm not making any money on them. If that's something that you're interested in, then of course feel free to check us out. Links down in the description below for Pokemon USA. But we're testing the waters on this one because the most expensive booster box we've opened so far has been a Cosmic, and we sold out of Cosmic pretty quickly. But let's see how Ancient Origins does, because it is an expensive booster box. So if it's something you guys are interested, like I said, let me know, and we'll make sure that we'll get it going. But yeah, it'll be under the breaks page on my website. So Pokemon USA. And then, like I said, last 5 minutes we'll be answering all questions. So, but yeah, just go to the breaks page, check it out. So it's got a lot of great pulls. So, of course, the Crystal Ho-Oh artwork is the best. Yeah, it's great artwork. Rex, that is definitely a factor. Yeah, I know, I agree. They announced Scarlet and Violet too early. Also agree. Arceus isn't underperforming. It's 2K behind DP with 3 months less time of no holidays. I was thinking about that. That's one of the things I was going to say, Plebisaurus. And that's why I think the introduction of Violet and Scarlet was too early. So we all have a bunch of different factors that are playing into it for sure. Yeah, it's, I would say it's about right for what it's performing for. That's what I would say. That's what I would say to that. The chat has been fire today. All of you guys are awesome. Hey, shout out to Andrew. Thanks for shouting out the chat on that one, brother. Yeah, no, we always have a fun chat. It's very rarely that we have a dead chat. It's funny, though, because we're usually all over the place in regards to people talking. So it's always nice. What is this? Pokemon Labyrinth, the board game? That's interesting. I just had my distributor ask me or message me that was a new release product. That's new to see, but thanks for your content, Pokemon. Hey, thank you for stopping by and always supporting the channel, Purple. There are no gyms, of course. It's not as good. That's an interesting thought process. That is the interesting thought process. It has no gyms, therefore it's not as good. So Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon was one of the worst performing. Black and White 2 was one of the worst performing, but it also had gyms. Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon didn't, so it performed bad. Sun and Moon performed well, though, and it didn't have any gyms. It performed one of the best. I don't know. I wouldn't say that because it had no gyms that it didn't affect it. I don't think that's true. Just based on what the numbers are showing, because you see Sun and Moon perform extremely well. Now, of course, Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon did not. What's interesting is it's the remake games that perform the worst. So, like, Ruby and Sapphire was about 8 million apart, so 8 million each, or 16 million units total. And then Emerald, there was 7 million, so it performed one of the worst. Platinum, if you take Diamond and Pearl, it was 17 million in the game, and then Platinum, it had 7 million, so it performed worse as an individual unit and as a collective. Black and White 2 also didn't perform the best. Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, yeah, it's those remakes. And when you look at the remakes that have been made, Legends Arceus is not a remake, it's its own individual thing, so it hasn't performed strong. Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire performed better than Heart Gold, Soul Silver. So it's crazy to me that Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl. There's an argument that should be that Brilliant Diamond should be a poor performing remake, considering that all these other remakes performed poorly, and it brings the least amount of content compared to all the other ones. So yeah, I think it's astonishing that it did the best, but I think it just really comes down to the nostalgia that came out during the boost of the pandemic. I appreciate it. Got the beep purple poker approval. See that 10 times fast. All the love. Thanks for the info and the conversation, of course. And thank you so much for stopping by, pleb. Who else loves the Battle Academy decks? I love the little stamps of the decks. Well, if you want some, Andrew, I have about 1,000 of them. Like, I probably have 100 plus of them. I shouldn't say 1,000, 100 plus. So I have a lot of them. But Rex, I agree. This is awesome. Got so many questions. Hey, like I said before, man, I'm here to answer all your guys' questions. If I don't know it, then I'll be honest and I'll tell you I don't know. And if I do know, then I'll answer the question to the best of my ability. But yeah, so as far as it goes, though, thank you guys all so much for stopping. As always, if you want to enter into our weekly giveaways, leave a like, comment down below, be subscribed. Post content each and every week, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, for you to enter in. Each week, we're going to be giving away 12 Brilliant Star booster packs, 3 winners, so full booster box each and every week. So yeah, a lot of opportunities to enter, a lot of opportunities to win. Like I said before, if you guys have any recommendations on content that I should make, please feel free to message me, join the Discord, or if you want to shoot me an email. All the links for our support email as well as our website and so many other things are down in the description below. And then lastly, we've got an Ancient Origins break coming up this upcoming Sunday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So, but as far